30 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good? Yo, welcome back to another video. It's Anish. I'm here joined with DJ, and today we're going to be going over the Rockets Media Day. There was a lot of insightful quotes that we gained, and I believe a lot of our players spoke. I think all but like 3 or 4 players spoke. I don't think KJ spoke at all, and some other players like Josh Christopher. But most of our players spoke today, and there's a lot of interesting things to get into. But the main theme of this season is the theme of fun. Stone mentioned that like about 10 times in our press conference, and they're really turning the page from last season. They understand that last season was riddled with so many injuries that they couldn't get like the same guys on the court together for even a game. And so they know that like because of that was the main reason why we couldn't even get a good momentum or win streak going. But they know that now they can play lose free. They don't have too many expectations. And a lot of these guys, they have some expectations for themselves, like personal wise, like rookie of the year or some kind of all NBA team or maybe even winning, just simply winning. But yeah, I think this team, they play with a lot of chip on their shoulders. Each guy has their own story, and they really play with a chip on their shoulder. They play with a lot of heart. And so, and then another thing to note, almost forgot, is that our team is 100% vaccinated for the upcoming 2022 season. And you know how the NBA is super strict on vaccination, so it's great to see that our players are 100% vaccinated and ready to go. But anyways, DJ, why don't you take it away?
All right, yeah. So it was a lot of fun media day seeing all our guys after everything that happened. You know, the off season's finally done, training camp is starting, and the NBA season is, I believe, just 2 weeks away, or like preseason around that. But anyways, yeah, let's start off with our point guard of the future, Kevin Porter Jr., with, I believe, like a really heartfelt quote with, "This organization saved my life potentially. I want to be here forever. I needed a new scenery from where I was at." You know, this really delves deep into like his personal problems and issues that he had, you know, when it like previously in his early NBA and collegiate life. It also really, really goes to show like how much John Lucas has helped this man, because he was lost and he was in a really bad state of mind and he didn't feel good about himself, and that really affected his play. But we were able, John Lucas and our coaching and player development staff was really, really impactful in making sure that he was able to get the help, care, and just attention that he would need, that shows like, hey, we're all here, we're all in this together. It's just really great to see, and I feel like Scoot is gonna have a breakout season next year. I'm calling it. But you know, more with Kevin Porter Jr., he also spoke about the difference between Cleveland and Houston, stating, quote, "I'm just in a better space, better role, and I'm just being used better. They taught me how I could be a special talent, but Houston knew how to utilize and nurture me." Same goes Kevin Porter Jr. Previously and earlier, he was playing combo guard and typically the 3 alongside Darius Garland and Colin Sexton. But when we traded for him, we saw the potential of, hey, this guy plays exactly like a James Harden. We know what a James Harden can do, how he can be a point guard and, you know, facilitate an offense, create for others, while just using all of his offensive skills, defensive skills, whatever it might be. We see it, we saw it. We traded a 2nd round pick, which didn't even convey, and absolutely stole him from the Cavaliers. It's one of the best trades that Rafael Stone has ever made. And, you know, it really just shows like Kevin Porter Jr. really, really loves this organization. He's really here for the long run. He's here to stay. And yeah, it just makes us so happy as Rockets fans to hear that KPJ is just here for now and he wants to be here forever.
Yeah, and it really speaks to the great culture we've developed under Silas as our head coach. You know, I mean, a lot of the guys, I mean, we thought like free agents wise wouldn't come here as much because like the whole crazy saga with James Harden or whatnot. But I think like organizationally, I think we really turned it around with Stone at the helm and Silas. So I'm really glad at like the kind of culture we created, and like you also see this kind of similar theme around all these other guys' quotes. Like they want to really play hard for Coach Silas, and they want to start winning, and that's really great to see. And Silas talks about. Oh, also I forgot to mention like KBJ. He also like brought up that he knew he was like pretty good at passing, but he was like more his eyes were more open to it like this past season. And like he always thought he was like a combo guard, like you mentioned, DJ, but he's like, I've always like really wanted to be a point guard, and now he finally gets to have that role. And now Silas talks about KBJ and Jalen Green on offense. He says playing fast, playing with a bunch of space. If KBJ is bringing the ball up on one side, get it to Jalen on the other side. Both are good ball handlers, athletic, gifted players. Give them some structure, but let them play. And Jalen Green kind of says that he and KBJ are kind of the same, but one's right-handed, one's left-handed. So it's definitely going to be a super threatening backcourt in the future.
Absolutely. And I just want to put this out there like before we say anything. Jalen Green, if y'all saw the media conference, I don't think there was a single moment where his mouth wasn't grinning from ear to ear. This man was so happy to be here, just smiling, excited. And it's like you could see like with a sparkle in his eye, this was his dream. He's so happy, and I honestly feel like in a way, he's happy that he didn't go number 2 or he didn't go number 1 overall, and instead fell into the perfect situation here in Houston, while also having that motivation that, hey, I want to win Rookie of the Year. I want to prove to everyone that I am the best player in this draft. And we all know what we saw from Jalen Green in his limited stint in the summer league. He's amazing, athletic, gifted in scoring, everything. But, another rookie that was able to get some time during this was Alperen Sengun. And he also mentioned, I think in a joking way, but it could be serious, that he also wants to be Rookie of the Year. Him and Jalen are both our top candidates on the Rockets as for who can get Rookie of the Year. And he says that he will be competing against his teammate, which is Jalen, for that title. He says the competition is only going to make this team better and that they're striving for greatness each day. Sengun, it's always fun to hear him talk. He still has his translator with him. And they also did mention his specific translator. I forgot the name. I forgot her last name, but her first name is Barbara. And he was also really excited about, speaking on her behalf, because she has really like shown him a lot of great things, not only about like translating the game to him, but also just being there as like a family member, someone who can really show them the city, introduce not only what the game brings, but also like what the city is bringing. So again, we're just really happy that the whole culture has changed for this Rockets team from kind of a toxic let James Harden dictate everything and whatever he wants, the way we're going, but now into this is a team game. We're all here for each other, and we don't want to let anyone down, because you're not letting down just yourself, you're letting down everyone else. And as we saw, they have great chemistry. They were at the Bahamas. They mentioned that a lot also, how they went for team bonding. This group, they hang out with each other off the court, on the court, wherever it might be. It's special. This is a special culture that's brewing.
Yeah, and like you said, this team is very special. And on top of having a lot of young talent, the older guys on the team, like I don't want to say Tate, but like apparently some of the younger guys call him like the old guy on the team, even though he's like 25 or 26. So that was kind of funny. But like obviously you have David Nwaba, Daniel House, Daniel Tice, who are kind of the veterans on the team, and as well as John Wall, who are also like kind of alongside with a lot of young talent that we have is the veterans on the team. And so it's a very good balance. And speaking on that, Daniel Tice says he really wants to help like Sengun and Garuba kind of transition from the European basketball kind of scenery to the NBA, and he just wants to be like a leader for this team. And he spoke about what kind of role he wants to do. And so yeah, that's kind of great to see. Nawaba feels the same way, and yeah, it's really nice to see from our team. And let's quickly talk about Christian Wood. A lot of people were kind of doubting him with all the trade rumors and whatnot, and so he said that gave him extra motivation to really become really good. And if you saw him in this press conference, I believe he bulked up a little bit. He looks his frame looks more filled out, so I think Christian Wood, he's definitely going to have like an all-star season and hopefully become an all-star. He definitely had an all-star caliber season last year, but he was off like unfortunately like hit with ankle injury. So hopefully this year he can actually become an all-star. And that so what do you think about Christian Wood's press conference as well?
Well, yeah, Christian Wood. By the way, happy birthday, Christian Wood. He had his birthday today on Media Days. He's 26 now, still fairly young. People think that our guys are old. Tate's 25. That's not old. Christian Wood's 26, and but whatever, I'm getting off track. But if we're talking about Christian Wood here, Daniel Tice actually had some things to say about Christian Wood, specifically, quote, defensively, we can play together. We're going to play fast, get stops, and just run. I played alongside Vucevic in Boston. Spacing-wise, it was similar with Christian. So it really just, Daniel Tice has come here and he's basically accepted the role of veteran mentor. And you might not think so because I believe he's only 29, so he's not like a veteran yet. He's not even on the opposite side of 30 yet, but he's embraced it and he states that he, quote, fortunately he was able to learn from Al Horford and Aaron Baines in Boston what it means to be a leader. Now hopefully I can do the same for some of the young guys and players overseas. Talking specifically about Garuba and Sengun, he wants to be that big man development coach and really teach them the ways of the game that, you can only develop by playing longer and longer. And it's really good because having a team full of just young guys, you're bound to make many, many mistakes. But that's all part of the development process. The advantage of having these older vets is that they can guide you through your mistakes mid-game, after games, whenever. And, by having a culture and a sense of respect for all of our guys, which we all have, while also maintaining that fun, casual, relationships with all of their teammates, it's really just showing this team, it's close. It's really, really close. And they're only going to be building on this chemistry as the season and as their careers go on.
Yeah, and last but not least, let's talk about John Wall, who earlier this offseason, it was reported that John Wall will not be playing in Rockets games, but he will sit out, but he'll still travel with the team, even to away games, be there as a guide. He says to teach them everything I've learned these last 12 to 13 years I've been in the NBA. Teach them how to be a pro on and off the court and critique their games and try to help them get better day by day. And I've liked how John Wall has handled this whole situation and Stone with that regard. Very professional. I mean, not a lot of drama involved. So John Wall, he's a great pro. And Stone says anyone could definitely use a talent like John Wall. And John Wall, he says that he doesn't have any wish list of landing spots, but they don't think Stone says that a buyout is definitely not in the realm of possibilities, but they'll try to work on some kind of destination for John Wall in the near future. So what do you think about John Wall's role on this team?
Well, John Wall is basically now the highest paid assistant coach in the history of this league. But all jokes aside, I feel like John Wall is really, really going to help these young guys develop. He said, quote, I'm going to help these young guys as much as possible. Teach them everything I've learned these past 12 to 13 years I've been in the NBA. Teach them about how to be a pro on and off the court and critique their games and try to help them get better day by day. And, he's just going to do exactly that. We have a lot of great young guards out there. Josh Christopher, Jalen Green, of course, Kevin Porter Jr. These guys, they need a mentor guard that they can look up to. And John Wall is going to be exactly that. John Wall was a former #1 overall pick. He's always had that hype and everything that coming into the league, same as Jalen Green. So I feel like a really good thing is like he could really understand and really connect with Jalen on that level of, hey, you know what? I had a very similar situation. You want to know how to handle it like a pro? Let me teach you. Let me show you. Because Jalen Green he's always had that hype surrounding him, and sometimes that hype gets to players, and it's not just things on the court, but really off the court and how you handle your mentality. Because all these players, they want to get better, but if they see like, hey, yeah, I'm getting better, but I can see my mentors and the people I look up to also doing the same thing, it can only inspire them to do more on and off the court. And John Wall also, when he was speaking about last season, said, quote, I just want to show that I was healthy, I could play, and I have a lot left in the tank, which he did. Rafael Stone had also mentioned how John Wall was playing a lot of like back-to-backs and stuff, even though he wasn't supposed to, because the original agreement that they had was, Wall, you're coming off an injury and you haven't played in 2 years, you will not be playing back-to-backs. But because of our crazy amount of injuries and just how we didn't have enough people on the team, and also Wall wanting to really take that stance and be like, hey, look, I know we're depleted, but I just gotta go put my effort out there for my team. If they can't like play and they're getting really tired, I gotta put myself in. I gotta do something. And it really just shows it's something that really, it's a mentality that's being brung by like all of that, and that can be shown by all of our guys. So I'm really happy with the way John Wall is handling the situation. Him and Stone have a really good relationship. They keep talking and they're really happy, and they're working on finding a way that benefits both the Rockets and John Wall himself. But until then, until he's gone, John Wall's still a Rocket. He's going to be used as a player development coach, and I'm just happy it's not like a situation in Philadelphia with Ben Simmons where he just like wants to get out and go to a contender. Because I feel like John Wall's very mature and he understands like, hey, this team like helped me like show that I'm healthy and other teams could want me. Let me at least like help them back by, giving back after what they gave me, which is just a great thing.
Yeah, and that pretty much wraps up most of the press conference quotes. If you want to look at the rest of the quotes, you can definitely follow some great Twitter accounts like Clutch Fans, or you can also follow us at Clutch City Entertainment, Clutch City ENTX on Twitter. We definitely post some of the quotes on there, but not all of them. But you can also follow Salman Ali. He's definitely a great resources. Ali Khan Bajani, Mark Berman, Kaylee Griffin. They're all great Twitter accounts too. And Ben DuBose. And so, yeah, you can follow all their accounts. They definitely keep us up to date on these press conferences. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know your thoughts. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.